Now before I begin, I feel like I must stress that personally, I like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 better than TMNT. But I feel like TMNT was a better made movie because it tries to tackle some pretty big themes and ideas. And while TMNT does have a lot of problems, I feel like when this movie gets stuff right, it gets it really right. The movie begins in the past where we see a warlord using a portal that comes around every 3,000 years to gain immortality, but unfortunately, while doing so, he turned his brothers into stone and unleashed several monsters into the world. Cut to modern day where we see Leo has been sent away to train for over a year to become a better leader, but feels that he must come back because he is told that the turtles aren't the same without him and don't go out and fight crime anymore, with the exception of Raphael, who continues his vigilantism in secret under the name the Night Watcher. The rest of the film revolves around Leo learning to lead the team again, while in the background the same warlord is trying to gather up all the monsters to send through the portal to reverse his immortality. Right off the bat, you can sort of see where the problems are with the plot, being that the story of the Turtles and the story of the Warlord don't really have anything to do with each other, and the only reason the Turtles get involved with the Warlord's story is because they stumble across the Foot fighting one of the monsters and try to fight it off as well, only to ultimately fail. But they don't ever bring up the monster again, and I guess they just sort of let it run free. However, this isn't the film's biggest problem. Its biggest problem is that the movie fails to explain a lot of the things about the turtles that would allow us to understand what's going on with them a lot better. In fact, on the other side of that coin, the movie explains way too much about the Warlord story. In the opening sequence of the film, we get a brief 5-second description of the turtles before the movie then spends the next 5 minutes explaining the backstory of the Warlord, giving us too much of one thing and not enough of the other. We never learn why Leo is sent to South America on his training period. Sure, the film says that it's to make him a better leader, but I just don't see how sending him to South America could achieve this. I mean, wouldn't actually leading the team teach him how to be a better leader than sending him away to be isolated? Also, I just don't see why the turtles stopped fighting crime. Why didn't Splinter just place one of the turtles like Raph temporarily in charge while Leo was sent away? In fact, how much more interesting of an idea would that have been? Hypothetically speaking, let's say while Leo was away, Splinter placed Raph in charge during that time. Raph does a great job at leading the team and stopping a bunch of criminals. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, Leo comes back and is automatically placed in charge again. This takes the role of leadership away from Raph and makes him jealous, putting even more tension between Raph and Leo than was already there, which would eventually lead to the infamous rooftop fight scene between the two, where Raph wins but sees that he's lost his way and learns why Leo is the better leader. This would allow the filmmakers to explore the tension between those two, which is obvious that's what they wanted to do more than anything else, and it's hands down the best part of the film. The movie delves into the tension between these two characters more than I have seen in any Turtles incarnation. In most incarnations, the tension is always there, but never explored. This movie actually delves into that and does it beautifully. Sadly, however, it's resolved in a way that doesn't make much sense. And I'm not talking about the fight between the two. Don't get me wrong. That was awesome. I'm more or less talking about the lead up to it. The lead up has Leto tracking down the Night Watcher, trying to stop him because he's against his vigilantism, which is another thing this movie fails to explain. I never understood why Leo was so against the Night Watcher being a vigilante, because isn't that what the turtles were? After he finds out Raph is the Night Watcher, he says that he's risking the safety of their family, but how is that more dangerous than all the turtles going out and fighting? It's just not really well thought out. All in all, the movie is a mess, but the tension between the turtles really carries this movie, and it's what I feel elevates it above Ninja Turtles 2 and way above Ninja Turtles 3. So, if you're a Turtles fan, I'd give it a watch. It's not that bad. See ya.